It's the Thankfulness episode here at the Cash Compound Podcast, where we talk about the gap and the gain. Here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, what's up and welcome back. If you are here for the first time, welcome for the first time.
That's right.
That's what they always say in church. We mentioned church a lot last week as well. And if you've not been with us in a while, we're glad you came to celebrate worship with us. But here, what we celebrate is all of our successes over the course of 2022. This is the Thankfulness episode. We're recording this the week of Thanksgiving in 2022. So it's going to air right after we finish some turkey.
Okay. Are you eating turkey this year?
Right. So it's kind of weird because it depends on...
A lot of people are moving to ham and lamb and...
Well, first off, you and I grew up in a house of plenty of ham, but
That's
no
correct.
lamb. But my in-laws, where I will be spending, and by the time everyone listens, I will have spent our Thanksgiving feast, there is a lot of lamb over there.
Yeah. I think we're doing lamb at my house as well this year.
Oh.
Yeah. So it'll be good. I'm excited.
Very good. So what are you thankful for, ladies and gentlemen? We have so much to consider over the course of the last 1 year since we were last at this table. It wasn't this table. So I'm thankful that we now have a new studio to record our podcast and our YouTube and social content in. That's one thing that we'll start off with.
I agree. I'm thankful you've got the jersey on today. Because of the COVID and the pandemic that happened, they moved the World Cup, the international soccer tournament, to this week, and I'm thankful that it's over a holiday week. Actually, that actually just means that I'll get to watch more games than I would normally watch if it was during like a work week or something. So actually, I'm really thankful for that. Not thankful for the pandemic, but thankful that I've got a little bit of time to be home and some good stuff on TV. I generally pretty much only watch sports, so I'm excited that there's lots of sports.
But you're actually watching Yellowstone a lot right now because you keep talking about it.
That is also true. Well, that's really because my wife likes to watch it.
Now hold on, so we can work that into what we talk about all the time at the Cash Compound and the Banking Bros situation here, because I think there's a lot of generational wealth going on in that show.
There is generational wealth going on in that show. So the premise of the show is that they own Yellowstone Ranch. It's in the middle of Yellowstone National Park in the middle of Montana. And it's been passed down like 5 generations. And all they're trying to do is keep it, basically. Now, they go about keeping it in some ways that you shouldn't go about keeping it.
I mean, but the struggle is real.
Yeah, and all it is
government
they're trying
and the
making sure they keep
natives
it.
And the greedy politicians and the oil guy. I don't know. I've not seen anything. I'm just imagining what's happening in this show. So generational wealth, that is a little bit about what we're trying to help a lot of people have success in over the course of 2022. And there's a lot to be thankful for. So we wanted to go over some of those numbers, actually, and some of the people that we've been able to help and reach out to. So I've got a few numbers. I'm going to start with the social numbers, and I hope you can tell us, Jonah, about some of the folks who've actually called in and had conversations with us, emailed us, started these banking policies with us as well. But first off, the one that threw us for the craziest loop, and we've mentioned it on our podcast a bunch of times, but there's a lot of people who listen to us who are not actually following us on some of these other platforms.
I agree.
But ladies and gentlemen, we have two handles right now on TikTok. And in the last year, that amazed us. It really did. Jonah, as we speak now, late November, there's 160,000 followers there. The actual number, 160,397 as of this recording.
I like it.
Now, last year this time, you came with the year-to-date numbers?
I could probably find the year-to-date numbers, but I'm not.
TikTok actually gives you a decent amount of analytics here and there, but it's probably something like
year to
at this
date.
point,
it's probably like seven to 8, somewhere under 10,000.
I think it was probably by November. I think it was more than 10.
Okay.
I do think it was nearing 17, 18.
Okay.
Potentially. But ladies and gentlemen, holy cow! That's also, I'm thankful for 264,000 likes on our content.
I like it.
We have done some funny type things on that handle, but we've got more of a straight man's handle for the Cash Compound, also on TikTok. 8,300 followers there. with a total of 33,000 likes.
It's a lot of likes.
It's a lot of likes. Now, we also got not all of it was likes. I mean, some of these comments.
It happens. It comes with the territory. You're going to have 170 plus thousand people following you. Then you're going to get good comments. You're going to get bad comments. You're going to get everything in between. You're going to have some people saying, yep, totally checked it out. I work with them. Or some people going, yep, I know this to be true, even though I don't work with them. You're going to have opposite people going, no, it can't be true. You're going to have opposite people going, they're lying to you. You're going to have it all in the midst of 170 plus thousand followers, right?
My favorite part is having done this, and one of the other things I'm thankful for, we'll just get into it, is we've started to add people to our team. And in the office as well as in the field, and some of those people in the field, I realize some of them can't handle the smoke that comes with the territory that I get all the time because I'm always going live on TikToks. Basically, it's been a one-man show of live content on TikTok, mostly on one of those handles, the bigger one. And people out here ready to fight me for going live from my house, letting them know the truth about cash and money and how it works and grows.
They got nothing else to do, I guess.
They're just out here. What do they call them? Like keyboard warriors? Is that the term?
I mean, you can call them whatever you want. But, yeah, they got nothing else to do, I guess.
TikTok trolls.
So
Yeah.
here's where it gets kind of fun. So because of those platforms and because we encourage folks to reach out to us, if you want more information, if you want to talk to us, we decided to have like a little group of our most highly decorated and trusted agents take the phone calls that come in. So that way we can service everyone who wants to talk to us. It started off.
Yes, because the calls were coming in faster than we could actually like process people's questions.
That's right.
And
so it started
like
off with just you and I taking those calls and things like that. But then we developed a little bit of a team. I think as of currently, we've got 6 or 7 people that are taking the phone calls with us right now. And we've had some people come and go in that particular role that we decided.
And also letting everybody know that all of the folks who pick up these calls are actually practitioners of infinite banking themselves.
That's right.
They all do it themselves, have policies. I think there's one of these people we're going to protect the wealthy and not name them. One has one. Everyone else has at least 2.
Yeah, that's also correct.
Yeah.
But because of that, we've gotten just over 19,000 calls since we started tracking, which came
1,900. No, is this what you're looking at?
Yeah, over 1,900.
You said 1,000.
No, 1,900. I said 1,900. Go back and check the tapes. 1,900 calls since we started tracking, and basically we started tracking basically like December-ish of 2021. So it's almost a year.
So let's say it's 2,000 calls in a year's time. And we know not everybody's coming from TikTok. We do have other social platforms and handles. The Banking Bros is where you're finding us on YouTube, and some of us are probably out there looking at us or listening to us from the YouTube channel right now. There are 3,040, I believe at this time, the way they put it is 3.48 thousand subscribers. So that's almost
3,480.
I guess that is 480, but I thought I'd looked at it from a different viewpoint and it was only 3,040, but that's right. 3.5 at the time you're going to be listening to this. I think it's going to be 3,500.
Yeah, and that's YouTube.
That's a huge. That's over 100% growth.
Yeah, absolutely.
In this last year for sure. The other one that I'll mention here before we get into some of those numbers and how many people we've actually been able to help is our Instagram. You can find us at the Banking Bros. That's just us two. The Cash Compound is the wider variety of all of our agents and all the folks who mentor you and answer your questions, as well as, of course, what we got going on our to be talked about in just one second, which we actually talked about last week, our course content and how many people we had there. But 2,090 people as of this recording on our Banking Bros Instagram handle.
That's right. So one of the other fun numbers that we should probably talk about is how many people have gotten started with policies, decided that it was going to make sense for them to do so. They wanted to develop generational wealth or maybe save and spend at the same time, maybe pay off debts, whatever it must have been that kind of drew them to the information. So according to my numbers, which are not complete, we actually didn't start tracking this until April of 2022. So that's just over, what is that? Just over 6 months.
Yeah.
But in that time frame, I think we've helped just under 200 people. I think the official number is 175 from the numbers that I've tracked. Of those people actually get started with brand new, personalized, privatized banking systems. And of course, we've done that. And those people have been everywhere, all over the 50 states.
We've sent people to Canada.
Yeah.
So we've got a partner up there we can send you to, and you've taken it out of the country. Well, my first out of the country was the Virgin Islands. So that's that's in the country, but out of the states.
There
right?
you go. Same for me.
It is the same country.
Recently just in Puerto Rico, delivering the message of infinite banking and privatized banking to a group of individuals down there. And so technically that's still in the country, but just out of the states.
Yes.
Yeah.
So where were you out in all of that? Where did you follow us or find us because of some of these channels? Lots of love that we get out there actually just comes from referrals of people who have started or heard our content. Moving now to a more specific thing is how thankful that I am that we've been able to serve families, and folks understand when they get this stuff started that they should also start that second policy on their spouse, that third policy on their child, and they should let their family know. And in 2023, we are instituting some new initiatives to help you make sure your family office, your family of banking policies, your branches to your system can expand to other family members. So we want to help you guys understand that and see that. So many people are actually thinking so short term when they get started, and they're thinking more about rates of return and investments than they are thinking about banking and growth and cash flow and generational wealth at Yellowstone. And so we want to make sure you guys are connecting those dots into your family's positions of wealth moving forward, and include them as well.
Yeah. I've got a question. Normally I didn't end an episode with this, but I really want to know. So before I even give you my question, what I'm interested in having you do, if you're hearing this, is leave us a comment or send us a message or whatever you need to do, whatever platform you're listening to. But here's my question for you. My question is, what in your financial life are you thankful for? Even if it's not infinite banking or privatized banking related, I really would like to know. There have been times in the process of learning about this concept and just learning and increasing my financial literacy that I've been really thankful that I discovered a few things. I remember a few years back when I was doing and working for an insurance company where we were doing auto and home insurance. And I learned a few things about exactly what auto and home insurance is supposed to look like and what this meant and what this doesn't mean and what this meant, that I was really thankful. And I came home and I shared it with people that were close to me. And I said, oh my goodness, look how you can do all this different stuff.
Oh, well, I remember you doing that.
Yeah, exactly. So I've been really thankful a few times. Most recently, I found out a little tip and trick about mortgages.
Yes.
And I did that in my own life and then told a bunch of people oh, I'm really thankful I just figured this out. Here's how you do it if you're interested in doing it. So I've had epiphanies before and going, oh my goodness, I'm really thankful about that. So I'm wondering, that's my question for you guys who are listening at home. It's Thanksgiving week, like we mentioned a few times. We're thankful for lots of things, but my question for you is, what are you thankful for in your financial life? I'd love to know. Leave us a comment, send us a message, whatever you need to do, because I want to go through them. I want to know what you know that I might not know, just about your finances, about the way you operate things and what you're thankful for.
I love it. So in the beginning of this episode, I hooked you into our chat about being thankful with a quote from The Gap and the Gain. So it's I believe it's actually Dan Sullivan's latest book. It may not be his latest, but this is the author of Who Not How. And this is my next book, Jonah. I've not read this, actually.
You have not read Who Not How?
I have read that one.
Okay.
Audiobook. You know how I be.
I've got both.
Okay.
Actually, it's at my house, though. It's not in the office.
Gotcha.
Because if I bring him to the office, I'll never see him again. But that's a different...
The Gap, all my books are at the office. And yes, some of them seem to move around, but I want to share this knowledge. So in The Gap and the Gain, it says this in its title pages right here on the website. Most people, especially highly ambitious people, are unhappy because of what they measure themselves against. We all have an ideal, which is like a moving target, always out of reach. When we measure ourselves against our ideal, we're in the gap. However, when we measure ourselves against our previous selves, the person we were when we set our goals and ideals, we will be in the gain. So I think that's a perfect time and place to mention where we are financially. Because when I first saw this information, I felt the gap big time. And I think a lot of the people that we service feel the gap. Why didn't I know this? I'm upset. I'm not where I want to be. But we need to actually judge ourselves against who we used to be. And that's what you were saying when you talked about even old insurance models, right? You used to come into my apartment, I think, back in the day, or I'd be at your apartment, and it would be like, hey, did you know that renter's insurance worked like this? And if you cover it this way and that way, we're going to be more poised to keep our stuff safe and move forward. I mean, you used to do that. And we could have been mad about the gap. Man, I didn't know that, or I lost something previously because I missed out. Or we can talk about the gain, and you can think into the future about how you and your family are moving on up to the east side because of information like we share with you here from the Banking Bros. So that's what I wanted to say. But now I want to say some personal things that are slightly outside of the monetary category, or I guess the privatized banking category. But it's actually a current conversation that we're having. Once again, we'll protect the wealthy. But we got reached out to by a cousin of ours that we basically have had no relationship with. We've always known of each other and once or twice been connected through the social media channels like Facebook. But he was on the road, like many people apparently who have reached out to us who are in the trucking game, and said, I started listening to you guys, cousins, and I realized, holy cow, I need some help. I'm very thankful that you guys are doing this and you've learned it. And we're starting that conversation and relationship on being able to mentor family members who've been able to see this for the first time.
I like it.
Also, one more is, I'm up to 9 personal infinite banking, privatized banking policies now. And over the course of this year, I added, believe, 3, one of which was this year.
Nice.
Believe one of which was, or is it 2? I added 2 this year. Maybe it was 2, but one was because I had a new baby. So about 6 months ago, when you're listening to this, we had a new baby, number 4, and he is now 6 months old, and he's been in the game now, and we are building a policy for him, with him, throughout his growing years now. And Jonah helped me out because I'm thankful for you because you do the paperwork.
That is,
I did not do the paperwork.
That is also correct. I did do the paperwork. So on that note, I've had as I look back over the year, I think there's been a lot of growth. And again, I'm not just talking about monetarily. I'm talking about in business and life and communication and the relationships. There's just been a lot of growth for me this year. A while back, maybe 2018, I think. I think it's actually a little further than that. I think it's 2016. 2016. I started to, at the end of each year, kind of recap the year that I was having and kind of just checking in on, what type of year was it? What did we progress in? What did we learn? Did we move forward? And I've been having great years since 2016. I've been having good years. At the end of each year, almost exclusively from that point moving forward, since I started tracking it, I've been like, this year was better than last year for a number of reasons.
Right. Yeah.
And I think that getting to the end of 2023 or 2022, as we get there, starting 2023, it'll more than likely be the same. And I haven't evaluated yet, but it'll more than likely be the same. I think that I've, in this last year, and one of the things that I'm thankful for here is just developed so many new habits, so many new relationships, so many new I had new influences into what I'm doing, how I'm doing it, why I'm doing it. And I've put a lot of more thought, time, energy, and effort into kind of why I'm doing a lot of things that I'm doing as opposed to just doing them. And that's been a lot more fulfilling for the things that I've been doing. So I'm very thankful for that, actually. And of course, all of you who are watching are part of that process, because I get to speak with a lot of you who reach out and call in or work with you or hear your questions, read your comments. It is helpful to know what you're interested in, what you're asking, what I can get better at. You know, if you go watch a video and then all the comments go, no one knows what in the world I was saying, right?
Right.
It's easy to go back and go, that was confusing, or whatever I tried to deliver wasn't delivered clearly. Well, now I can refine and get better. And so I'm very appreciative for all of you at home or on the road or wherever you are listening to this information. Of course, we hope you're enjoying your holiday as well, but that's one of the things that I'm thankful for this year.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. So once again, we put that challenge and charge out to you. What are you thankful for when it comes to your knowledge or your growing education, when it comes to your finances and the things that we talk about here on this channel? We have had a wonderful year, and it's really just the beginning. There's so many things that we've instituted now by actually starting our own space and having some studios. We've added team members, including our very first employee, into what we do here at the Cash Compound. And we've added so many great mentors to help you along your financial journey. We want to know what has been the biggest impact, what you are thankful for, and let us know how we can be thankful a year from now, because we can get better at X for you so we can all grow together and crack the code to cash flow. Chat soon.